Hello, today is Tuesday, January the 20th, 2026, and I'm making this video. It's so key to the energy today. We have the most auspicious time in the next few days, especially tomorrow. And again, just checking out astrology with different people and having experiences and also looking at the Zolkin and how that all ties in. Just really, really feeling excited about this. And my video today is about the hack. And so this is extremely key to the very small group of people who actually watch this. And by the time you watch this energy may have passed, but that's okay because I make these videos for me. When I create these resources, I am primarily doing that for myself because I am the only person that I have any ability to transform. Everybody else does it for themselves. So, what I've learned since, well, first of all, I guess 30 years of psychology, and then since 2007, it went to a whole different level with energy healing. And that is the key. That's the hack. Lots of people talk about different things. They'll have lots of different intellectual frameworks. They'll have lots of perceptions. And again, that is really important because we all follow the cosmic cookie trail. But the key denominator, the key thing is the human being. So for me, it's all about me. And for you, it's all about you on an individual level. So to use a computer analogy, this is the interface with the master computer, which is the universe. And I talked about this before I moved to Glastonbury in 2011, which was just before this cycle in 2012. So 2012, new code coming in on the planet. If you look at the astrology today, it matches that time. It also matches 2018 and 2019. Think about what big shifts you are initiating there. And all of this is really important to understand the bigger picture cycle. So astrology gives you the bigger picture cycle. The Zolkin gives you the bigger picture cycle. And the most important thing, though, remember, is the interface. So to use another analogy, which I did back in 2011 when I was leaving, was we're in a giant computer game. We're in a mystery school. And what is the outcome of that? What is the end game? The truth is, I don't know. I'll find out when I find out. Nobody knows is the truth. We've all got ideas. For me, when I'm in the game and I'm playing the game, I want to be playing at my optimum and potentiality. And that's what I choose to believe. So if you think about the master computer, the master game that we are in, it has a format, it has a design. And again, each person will see that according to their own beliefs about the universe, about life. And it does not mean that that is the truth. And also, just because somebody doesn't believe in the truth, it doesn't alter the truth. It just means that they won't align with it. And this is often what is challenging. So, this is the hack. Okay, so we have all this consciousness everywhere. We have truth in the game. And we can only access it according to our interface. And that's the whole point of the game. So we come in into this avatar. And again, you can look at the Avatar film, for example. So we come in and we have this avatar that has rules, it has experiences. And again, I was co-creating with somebody yesterday who was showing me my past stories, and I was showing her past stories. And together we were trying to focus on a vision for the future, because now is a great time to do your vision board. And the hack is with all of this is all about pattern matching. So astrology, there's Alchemy, how the mind works, the reticular activator in the mind, if you want to check that out, if you don't know what it is. This all has a technology in it. And for thousands and thousands of years, a lot of that wisdom and intuition and wonder has been offline. We've not been able to access it because we have lots of wounding that we've embodied. Okay, so we have lots of patterns and we come in and we inherit all of that. We inherit our culture, we inherit where we live. And that is until we start to move. So if we're a seeker, we aren't going to stay in one place. We're going to start to move and we're going to look to find truth. So look at the pattern where you have tried to do that. And usually people who are doing this sort of work, they travel the globe and they look for places that are optimum for them to live, that create well-being, create heaven on earth. And of course, that is the next 52-day process in the Zolkin that is coming up. So the hack is what gets in the way of us living heaven on earth? What is the thing within us? It's the amygdala. Okay, the amygdala is the place where we store the fight, flight, or freeze. And we can only access the game that we're in as a human being at that level. And the only way to change the amygdala and play the game on different levels is to heal the amygdala stories, the mind movies that are still in here from our childhood. And these movies have created belief systems. The biggest block within us is fear, and however that manifests in the story. So most of us are stuck in our development, in our ability to play this game at a childhood level of emotional intelligence, and all these stories that are still there where we have grief, where we didn't feel we were loved and we didn't feel safe. And that's why this huge plan, this game plan that is very challenging for most people right now because of what people in power are doing, and yet they don't understand this hack because there's still this intellectual coping mechanism running, which is very Aquarian, I might add. Let's just be solution focused, let's just focus on the outside and not understanding the basic rules of the game. So this interface can only play at the level of emotional healing and embodiment. This is so, so important because the universe, which we are, will just keep bringing this around for us again and again. The same experiences, different people, different bodies, but it's our mum and dad or it's our caretaker story. It's people who were in power and may still be in power in our life when we were a child. People in our childhood who keep showing up. And I've worked with hundreds of people now. And I know this to be true. And I certainly know it's true myself. So the big hack is take that huge story that's on the world stage right now and don't get distracted by it. Use it as a master teacher, use it as a hack for you. What is triggering you? What is it bringing up for you? What story is it? Instead of getting wild and mad and, creating all this drama for yourself about something that you cannot change, even if you show up and you're on the streets and you're protesting and all the rest of it, it's just creating more and more drama. And some people will do that and that's up to them. But look at history and the solution is not that. And often it creates great tragedy. And, some people are here to play that role. But if you want to use the hack is, what was that story for me? If I bring that down to my own personal story, what is that story for me? And how am I still living it today? How am I still living out of alignment with heaven on earth in some way? Because when you take that great bigger picture, and this is Aquarius, and you bring it into yourself, you will see that you are one of these little pixels in the bigger picture. So again, to give you an example, once you start to learn about how your brain works, you will know that your brain does not know the difference between what's on a TV screen and what's real. It doesn't know any different. It reacts the same way. And how do you know that? Because just go and watch a scary movie or an action movie, or, for example, I just started watching some new things that are based where I used to live in the north of England, and it's called Riot Women. Now, if you want to play that role where you feel invisible, which a lot of older women do, and this is my core audience really, because if you want to go out there and try and get attention and make yourself visible, when on the inside there's a code and it's trying to get you to focus on why you're feeling all of this and how the world is reflecting you feeling all of this. And also how the game plan that you're in will have told you that you have to look a certain way or be a certain way to be valued in society. So you might have to have a certain hair color or paint your eyebrows on or wear lipstick. Because if you don't, you're obsolete because you're not in the game. You have to add something to yourself because the society that we live in requires that. It's a ritual that you have to do because it's keeping the whole thing propped up. And that's huge, that goes deeper and deeper and deeper. But remember, this is your life, and you chose to come here at this time, and you chose to come here for a reason. And if you're watching this, the odds are that you came to change the world. And changing the world means you are the world. You're a key player, but you have to change yourself. You have to change the inside because that's the only way the outside changes. And I absolutely know this to be true. This time on planet Earth is extremely challenging, but it has everything that we need to really get us to a whole different level of evolution. But you won't get it by reading a book. You won't get it by watching or, you know, thousands and thousands of videos about astrology. You'll get awareness about what's going on, an intellectual awareness. You'll get an understanding, but the core thing is the understanding about yourself. You are the mystery for you. I am the mystery for me. When you start to do this process on the inside and you start to heal, you will discover the miracle of how your interface with the universe will change. And yes, the storyline that is here is challenging, but the key thing is about how resourceful you are and how you stay in your center no matter what is going on, and then how you download from the universe, because you have the capacity to hold that and you have the behaviors that match that. You have the belief in yourself that you can do that. And often that will fluctuate over time. Remember, at the moment, we are in a new moon energy of Capricorn, of the disciple, the father energy, and we're here to parent ourselves. So, whatever our parents' level of consciousness was at that time, and most people's parents' level of consciousness was just a replication of their parents. Most parents didn't go and learn how to be parents. They didn't learn about themselves. They were just getting on with life. And that's not excusing any behavior. It just is what it is. The thing is not to get stuck in that, because they are our master teachers. And really focusing on that and how we don't feel safe, we don't feel loved, and how to feel that stuck energy and emotion. Because what most people don't understand is emotional intelligence is so important, because that changes everything. Because most of us still have the emotional intelligence that we had when we were kids. It's just how it goes. And you see that acting out on the world stage. Our emotions guide us. Doesn't mean we have to get stuck in them, doesn't mean they have to decide what we're going to do every day. But in the beginning, if you're a very emotional person, it will be that way. And do you want to be somebody who has no emotion, somebody who can't feel? Because if that's the direction that you're going in, then what is that life going to be like? To not allow ourselves to feel anything anymore. If you're a person who has a lot of emotion, and everybody does, on some level, apart from people with extreme patterns of unhealthy ability to relationship. And, this is the people who are determining how human beings are going to live, or they think they are, and have been for thousands of years. That's a different program altogether. But if you're a person who channels their emotions into food, or channels their emotions into doing stuff rather than just feeling it, avoiding feeling it, not feeling safe to feel it, this is so key, because our emotions were designed to keep us safe. But often in our ancestor stories and the patterns that we are repeating, we have still got programs and belief systems running around their stories. Because again, that's how it works. Each generation, it's in our body, it's in us on a cellular level. And this is what this 260-day cycle is about in the Zolkin. It's also the Chinese zodiac, the fire horse. It's also the Saturn in Aries, the Neptune in Aries, lots of different levels. Now, people who tend to disbelieve these frameworks, it's because they have never lived it. They haven't embodied it. They don't really understand it. And that's okay. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. Doesn't mean it isn't true. And rather than get involved in a debate or, trying to prove something to somebody, this again is very important at this time. Live your life and have the courage to design the life that you were meant to live, the potentiality that is now lining up for you, and to create the dream as a conscious dreamer and to break this cycle of wounding. And in order to do that, we have to heal to get our emotional center back, to get our emotions functioning in a way that isn't way out of balance, unless there is a true threat to our life. The people who are in power on the planet know how to play that game very well. And they're the master teachers, just like the people in our childhood. And if you ever got bullied as a child, everybody knows of how that experience was for them. The people with the biggest shadow stories are the ones that created the most fear for us. And they were also a reflection of someone in our family. And it may not have even been in our generation, but it was in there somewhere. So, over the next few days, really focus on what you want to create from the heart, not from your head. What feels good for you? You may not even know where you're going, what you're doing, but you already have the clues in your past, which is why being an expert on your own patterns and your own codes may seem really boring to a lot of people. And it may seem like you're going against the grain of what you've been programmed to do, especially as a woman. But this is where you create liberation, getting a PhD in your personal story, your triggers, and understanding how to feel again, how to feel safe again, how to feel that life is beautiful. Because it is. And it's only our own personal interface that gets in the way of that. So today in the Zolkin, we're here. We are now on the third 20-day process. So we're doing the alchemy. We now have all the prima materia as an alchemist to work with. Tomorrow, which is the big E day, where all these planets line up in a stellium in Aquarius. And so we've got this huge power potentiality, which, like I said, occurred in the past. But this time we've got the added bonus, the Brucey bonus for those English people watching, of Pluto. What needs to go? And we're seeing lots of examples. So tomorrow, it's also an Akashic portal day, which means this is a time on planet Earth where this happens over and over again. And so the planet is Saturn. We've got Saturn in Aries coming up on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. And if you know your personal codes, you know what this is for you. So these are the resources that I have downloaded since 2020. I've been doing this for 15 years now. And if you feel aligned to do this, check out my website, flowwithjo.com, resources. There's one of these on here. I'm developing new ones. And these new ones will have personal codes on. And I will be creating a workshop for this in the future and an online course. And again, all of this takes time, so bear with me. I mean what I say. People who know me, I have integrity through integration. And this is what I'm passionate about, is helping people to help themselves, letting go of codependent patterns. So, as I said, today and the next few days, we've just gone into Sun in Aquarius. Now is the time to be looking at that bigger picture view for humanity, for yourself. Becoming self-realized means understanding yourself and healing yourself, and then you can actually live these teachings that great teachers have shared. Healing the amygdala changes your pattern matching and changes your personal experience as a human being on the chessboard of life. This whole system reveals you as well as the universe. This is about going deep for those who are ready, because those who are changing on the inside will be able to access more and more consciousness and live it, embody it, not just talk it, live it, be it. Be the gift, be the beauty. Each person is on their own trajectory, they're on their own time scale, they've got their own plan. This is completely necessary for us all to be able to interact together, to learn, to play, to understand. And so this is really, really important. This higher level of consciousness knows what it's doing. And everything is meant to be. And if we feel differently, then there's something to be healed. It isn't excusing any bad behavior ever, but it is what it is. People do what they do. I've realized many, many times over and over again, I cannot change or control other people. And what we are seeing on the planet now is people who still believe that they can, and they do it in a very challenging way that is so harmful for everybody and everything on the planet. We know that. And all these different things that people have tried, everything that's happened over the last 5 years, some people are still not willing to look at it. And I understand why they're not, because they don't know what to do about it. And this is what I offer you. I don't know what the bigger picture answers are, but I know that this stuff was designed for this time. But on its own, it's just a piece of paper. It's just like, you can read 1,000 books, but if you don't act on them, if you don't change yourself, if you don't change your behavior, you're going to get more of the same experience. each day, each storyline corresponds to a year in your life. So if you're ready to go deeper, please get in touch. My passion is about helping you help yourself because this is how we change the world. No one person is an island. And over my life, I've tried to do so many things on my own. I'm looking for a tribe, women who are ready to embody a different code to help each other, to cooperate rather than compete. How different is that? Please get in touch if you want to know more and you want to co create with me on whatever project that is. Bye for now.